Greetings and welcome to this episode of 401k TV. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor with wealthmanagement.com's RPA Edge and CEO and founder of TROW, TPSU, and 401k TV. I review all of the industry stories from the past week and pick out the most important and interesting ones, providing open, honest, and candid discussion you will not get anywhere else. So let's get real. First story, after a court rejected the Biden DOL's attempt to overcome the Trump rule on the definition of independent contractor, the DOL proposed a new rule on October 13th with a 45-day comment window. The broader definition of independent contractor proposed by the DOL would increase the number of employees protected as well as those that have access to benefits. In particular, the proposed rule would create a 6-part test which would include a holistic approach based on economic realities. The new rule could negatively affect independent broker-dealers as well as increase health and retirement benefit costs for employers. It could also affect the growing gig economy. Next story, the New York Times reported a growing interest in emergency savings, or so-called rainy day accounts, which is currently part of Secure 2.0. Starbucks is now offering these accounts, and it's now available through firms like ADP and Suze Orman's SecureSave. Emergency savings accounts could alleviate the need for loans, which is the bane of many plans, as well as limit cash outs. These accounts, also known as rainy day funds, are bound to expand, especially with Main Street media coverage. Next story, the TransAmerica Center for Retirement Studies released their latest report, begun in 1998, interviewing 5,493 workers late last year, highlighting changes as workers emerge from COVID restrictions. Among the findings, retirement and savings benefits increased in importance, especially for Gen X and millennials. More employers offered support like remote work, flexible hours, and emergency paid leave, yet there is still a wide gap between health and financial benefits that employees value compared to what employers are actually offering. 32% changed their retirement expectations, with 22% expecting to retire later. The world has changed, especially the work environment, so the benefits being offered need to adjust. Next story, a Stanford study outlined best practices on how to engage people near or entering retirement, looking at surveys as well as input from academics and industry professionals. Workers say they need help, but have a hard time finding it. A 3-phase framework is suggested, starting with engagement and education, guidance, and then tools that actually enable action. Overall, people facing retirement are looking for peace of mind, which equates to them to flexibility and control, certainly not some things associated with annuities. The study recommends that advisors create an emotional connection with investors while leveraging behavioral finance. And finally, reacting to a Groom Law presentation that characterized cyber insurance as expensive and limited, Euclid Fiduciary criticized the law firm for perpetuating what it called myths. While admitting that premiums have increased, Euclid said that few firms are look to focus on their sponsored retirement plans exclusively, which could reduce cost and increase coverage. Previously, Euclid had claimed that overall fiduciary insurance premiums had not substantially increased, but they did acknowledge that deductibles had gone higher and limits have been lowered. Regardless, with the barrage of lawsuits and cyber attacks on DC plans, insurance is becoming more important, especially to the fiduciary members of the retirement committee whose personal assets could be at risk. So those are the most important stories from the last week. I listed a few others I thought are worth reading. Please let me know if I missed anything or if you have any comments. Otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you next week on 401k Real Talk.